Thank goodness vaccines are on the horizon. I'm going to be one of the first in line when I get a chance. I don't have a problem with them. Thank goodness for the hope that sometime soon we can get back to some normalcy here. I want to see these empty chairs filled up again. I want to get down to the business of growing this church and reaching out into our community. We didn't see Hannah for Thanksgiving. We're not going to see her this week either. It stinks. Thank goodness for science. It's a gift from God. But if we make science our God, watch out. If we make Dr. Fauci the Messiah, if we do what they did 100 years ago, oh my goodness. You know what happened literally 100 years ago from this time? After the devastation of the Spanish flu in World War I, we entered a decade of decadence, which historians later called what? Anybody know? The Roaring Twenties. In response to all that suffering, it's as though the world said to the universe and to God, screw you! We're going to party! We're going to live it up. We're going to drink every ounce of pleasure that we can find in life, down to the dregs. And they never realized that as they were doubling down on their sin, they were just setting the stage and ringing the dinner bell for even greater chaos and madness to come as the Great Depression and World War II rolled in. And it's funny. Here we are again on the cusp of the 20s, and I have to ask, and I've been asking God in prayer, how are we going to respond, Lord, now that it's our turn? Will we continue to live as though this life is all there is and God is an irrelevancy? What do I need Him for? Or will we see life as it really is? Part of a vast landscape, far more vast than we can see with our eyes, larger than we can possibly imagine. A landscape that includes not just my body, but my soul as well. And not just time, but eternity. And will I then choose to seek that larger landscape, that undiscovered country, Shakespeare again, which Jesus called the kingdom of God. And Jesus said, seek first that kingdom, and everything else will be given to you as well. C.S. Lewis, I think, was thinking of those words when he wrote this, aim at heaven and you get earth thrown in. Aim at earth only, you get neither. See, only those people who have the next life in their line of sight can live this life well and then die in peace when it comes time to lay it down. Understood properly, the promise of the life to come is so powerful. It is so life-changing. We talked last week about 19th century Christianity in America. Remember that? And how Christians everywhere were just running around trying to make everything better for Jesus. What motivated them? It was their belief that a new world is coming one day, so why wait for it? Let's start bringing it in now. That was their mentality. William Wilberforce, it was his belief in the life to come that gave him the strength to endure 2 decades of resistance and disappointment, one after another, in his fight against slavery. It's the belief in the life to come that has unleashed centuries of Christian missionaries who say to themselves, you know what, since I have eternity to enjoy, I can make sacrifices now. I want my life to count for something. Like a man named Jim Elliot in the 1950s. How many of you have heard of Jim Elliot? Very short-lived missionary career. He died almost before it began. He was speared to death by the Stone Age Indians in Ecuador that he had come to save. And we only know about Jim Elliot because his wife Elizabeth preserved his journals and wrote about him and told his story. He said one of the most famous lines in 20th century Christianity. He said, "He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose." He was a man who sought the life to come. And that's how it can change you. You seek the life to come, and you're going to have the strength to overcome sin and grow in holiness. You seek the life to come, and you're going to find comfort in times of suffering. Even now, it's funny, I saw a story the other day. You know, research is showing from this last year that those who are staying connected to a local church, either here in presence or online, those staying connected to a local church during this pandemic, those are the ones who are coping better than anybody else. It's like, oh, really? What do you know? Seek the life to come and you'll be able to face these things better. Seek the life to come and you'll even be able to embrace death when it comes. Great actor Charlton Heston, he was a man of great faith. When he found out he had Alzheimer's, he was talking to a friend of his who was devastated by the news. And Charlton Heston said to him, are you sad by what's happened? And the friend said, oh, yes. And he said, don't be. I've had 80 years to live the life of Charlton Heston. That's not bad. That's what faith can do.